Okay, so here we have just a natural sphere, nothing too serious. Basically, that's like one of the shape of the, I think it's a robot. I just named it a quadruped for naming sake, but it's more of a sci-fi kind of robot thingy. So this is what the shape, most of the shape is all about. It's made of a sphere, anyways. So I'm just going to start with that, and yeah. All right, so there's going to be like a gun sticking out of it, so I needed to flatten out the surface. Before flattening it out, yeah, I deleted the surface here. So now I'm trying to position every area, every point where they're supposed to be. Okay, so this is actually looking kind of flat. So I'm going to have to create depth inside. So I use my ES, so I extrude and scale it inwards to create a kind of like depth to solidify model, the model's interior basically. Okay, so this is looking quite good. Yeah, as you can see, it's actually giving me the kind of shape I want from all areas, and it's time to start working on the interior. So just like I said, I'm going to be having a gun sticking out of it. So I'm trying to put something that's going to be like a support holding the gun in place. Yeah, so that's basically what I'm trying to do. And in the previous video, I made a statement where I said I try to make my workflow as easy and simple as possible. I mean, it's hard surface modeling, yeah, and it's supposed to be like hard, maybe because of the name. But I try my best to always make my modeling to be very, very easy as I can actually. So yeah, I'm having the neck, and now I'm trying to create like a barrier where they're standing on, more like a threshold. Yeah, I think that's the word. Okay, so now that that is in place, I'm not trying to model the gun itself. We are just trying to give the basic shape here for now. Yeah, so the gun is actually supposed to be big, but not too big. So I'm just trying to scale the neck. I would say, yeah, the neck in the right proportion, just to give it the right size, the accurate size. I don't want it to be too big, but at the same time, I want it to be big enough to be obvious. Yeah, I want it to be big enough to be obvious. It's one of those mini guns that you see in video games. Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to recreate, or a more stylized version. So I mentioned earlier that I make use of the insert tool a lot, and all I'm doing here is just using that tool simply. And it's one tool I said in the last video. It's one of the tools that actually helps me a lot in my videos. And yeah, so now I'm just trying to give the gun more detail. Yeah, trying to give it a little bit more detail before we then go into adding the muzzles, I'll call them. I don't even know the names, but majorly I'm just trying to give them more details. Okay, so this is looking good. Yeah, just like I said, I just wanted to give you a major block out. And yeah, so I turned on cavity because cavity actually gives me this kind of is it blocky kind of view. Yeah, so it helps me a lot. Yeah, so now over to the muzzles, it's muzzles themselves. So I'm going to be using about eight of these cylinders, but instead of adding a cylinder every time I want to make one, I just duplicate Alt D and I just duplicate. So I'm just trying to get this in place. I want it to be out, but not too out. Yeah, so let's just put that in place right there and check if it's good. Okay, it's a bit too out. Let's bring that down a bit. And okay, this looks good. Okay, so instead of mirroring it, I'm just going to duplicate because I want them to be in the right positions, and I still don't know why, but it's like I'm having issues with mirroring. I'll probably make a video about that later on. But yeah, so I'm duplicating this placing them in the right positions. So that way, even when I am working on one, it's still affecting the others. Yeah. Okay, so pretty much this is going to be it. I added a few more details to this. Just I think I added two holders here just to hold the muscles in place, but just two of them. Remember, just like I said, since I duplicated it, it's going to affect everything once I just work on one. So, yeah, I'm pretty much going to leave the rest like a time lapse. So we just move into the detail of the body itself. That's the head of the robot. So I'm practically, I would say I'm done. Yeah, this is the video is meant to be just a block out phase, so I'm not going to be diving too much into details. But if you guys want to see me finish this project, work on the details, just say so in the comments below, and then I would also work on that. And also, I'm going to make this model available. So if you're interested in working on the texturing of the models, just let me know in the comments and I'll send it straight to you. I'll leave a link in the description where you can access that. Just let me know in the comments if you are interested in that, and then I would leave a link for you to get that. So, yeah, so I'm just going to leave the rest as a time-lapse video, and then we go into adding details to the body of the robot itself. Okay, so over to the details on the body of the robot. Yeah, let's go. So I'm just going to I need to make this a circle. So instead of trying to just make my work difficult, I'm just going to use loop tools here. If you guys are having any issues with loop tools, you can just let me know in the comments below as well. Then I would explain further on how to use loop tools in my next video. So here I'm just going to activate loop tools and then I just transform. So it's that easy. That's that's pretty much it. So now that I have it as a circle, I'm going to flatten it out here because I'll be needing it as in a way where I can extrude and make details based off of what I want. So yeah, I'm going to flatten out both sides, yeah, and work on them individually by working with extrude and insert majorly. Yeah, just those two. So those are the two major tools I'll be using to create the detail here. So yeah, let's see how it goes. So I'm pretty much doing the exact same thing on the other side here, just giving it a bit more definition before I then go ahead to work on the other parts of the body. Yeah, so I'm just trying to get the right shape because I model them individually, so I'm not it's definitely not going to have the exact same proportions and sizes, but I'm going to try to make them as similar as possible. Okay, this is looking pretty good, yeah. So I actually added something at the back for some kind of like exhaust, but regardless, we'll get to that. So yeah, now I'm trying to create the just something like a torso. So it's not actually a torso, yeah, because it's a robot. I mean, robots don't have torsos, yeah. I'm just trying to create something like a torso where it's going to be connected to the feet or the tentacles, whichever one you like to name them as. So yeah, so that's pretty much all I'm trying to do to give it the right shape, and then I'll start working on the feet themselves, tentacles. Okay, so I'm just trying to get the right shape and proportions for this, and I pretty much just used cylinders and a rectangle, sorry, a cube to work on the details for the waistline. So yeah, I think I'll call this the waistline because this is not actually the feet, but this is like I said, the waistline, which is going to be connected towards the legs. Yeah, so it's from the waistline that will now have the legs extending out from. So yeah, so this is the waist, and I just work on the details separately. Yeah, so trying to get it to be stylized, yeah, looking cool at the same time. Okay, so one mistake I actually made with this project, especially the waist area, was I didn't finish one. Like, I better still, I could have just, like, worked on one part of it, and then I just duplicate it and spread it to the other parts, or I mirror it basically. Yeah, but what the mistake I made was I like just worked on them the details halfway, and then I duplicated them and already spread them out. So that way I now had to start working on the details for individual parts. So it was actually a lot of work. So don't make that mistake, guys. When you are trying to, when you know you're going to duplicate a particular object, so just like finish the details on that object first, then duplicate. So that way you won't have to start working on them individually one by one, because that actually took a lot of time. Yeah, so so this is a finished product of the waistline. Looks pretty cool. I actually just skipped to the video where I just already modeled the legs, the tentacles. Yeah, so it actually looks pretty good, although the topology isn't as neat as I wanted it to be, but it's all good. Yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video. If you have any questions, thoughts, I'll leave it in the comments.